Baby, Steph, you know I love you, baby. All right. How's it going, Insta
Hi.
crew?
How are you guys?
Hope everyone's doing great.
It's Thursday, Cafesito.
Hey, hold on, she's cheating. She doesn't
I
have a
didn't get
cafecito.
coffee. I got a refresher.
What? It's Thursday cafecito, not Thursday cafecito and refresher.
I've had like 3 coffees.
I can't be the only caffeine addict here.
I felt like a little shaky. Maybe it was my seasonal allergies.
That's probably your allergies. Look at this hair, man. Look at this crazy hair. It's like two little ponytails like this. Yeah. How's it going, guys? Today's Thursday Cafecito. Today we get to do the art talk. Those of you who are artists. Hey, by the way, guys, if you guys have liked our Cafecitos, don't be stingy with this. Share it with your friends. Artsy friends. I know you got some artsy-fartsy friends. I know
Or
you got
just friends who would benefit from it. Maybe friends that are starting their own businesses and
right. Or, you know, they don't have to be
wanna
like arts and
hear
crafts. They could be
someone else's perspective.
Totally. Share it, like tag them. Be like, hey, dude, check out the Thursday Cafecito with like Jose Trujillo and bam,
Lizette, the wife of the world's greatest living artist.
She got it this time.
Yay!
She got it.
Right.
All right, guys. So what are we gonna talk about today? Because today's about like partnership and like what does it take to show up? What does it take to do the dirty deal, the daily deal, the dirty deal. Well, yeah, that too. Why not? The daily deal, you know, with your partner. And if if you're working, maybe not with a partner, you're working with another relationship, maybe a friend, or maybe you're working with maybe you're sharing studio space. You know, that's in trend.
Just working in collaboration, I think,
Totally.
is always helpful.
Totally. So what?
I mean, because if you weren't working with me, you'd be working with someone else.
I would miss you though.
I know, but I mean, you would have to figure out how to work that working relationship.
Yeah, totally. I'd be like, intern. No, I wouldn't be like, intern now. I need that now. No,
that's not nice.
I feel like that's Coons.
Yeah, that's not
Coons. I love Coons. I'm sorry, Coons. I'm sorry. I love you. Okay, so guys, what are we talking about today? We're talking about partnership. We're talking about all kinds of things, but what specifically we're talking about today?
Why do you do that? You know what we're talking about today.
Well, go ahead and tell them. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee.
You
How's it going,
started.
Shanaz?
You started.
Well, I was talking to her earlier about something, and we are like, you know what? This is great. This is something great to share with our friends on Instagram. I was talking to her about when I'm going through something, right? I'm going through my work. I'm doing my daily deal. I'm doing all my stuff, and then I realized that something is hey.
Thank you, guys.
Is it my spirit or her spirit or both spirits?
It's both of our spirits.
I like that. I'm such an artist. That's like, it's gotta be about me. So, it's when I'm working, I'm going through my stuff, right? I'm doing my stuff. I'm painting. I'm doing my social media. I'm doing all my daily stuff. And then I realize that at some point I get overwhelmed.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. Fair, no? Fair. Mm-hmm. I get overwhelmed. And which is it's not really true, okay? Here's where it comes. I start thinking, I psych myself out, and I think I get overwhelmed. So I start trying to cherry pick my behaviors.
Yeah.
My tasks. So I'll be like, no, I'll put more attention on that, and I'll stop doing this. It sounds smart, right? It sounds intelligent. It sounds like you're being fair, you're being smart. I'll put more attention here because this is more important than this.
Because this is producing more for me at this time.
It's producing more, or
right.
maybe I think it's producing more, but
right.
The reality is that the other task hasn't flowered yet.
Right.
Hasn't flowered, but with whatever little flower.
Or was helping push the other one to flourish.
Was helping push the other one that was already flourishing. Right. It's about a fire. I hope I'm making any sense.
You are.
It's not very abstract. So what I start doing is that I start cherry picking. I know I'm not alone. I know this is a very human thing, but I'm talking about myself here, okay?
Right.
I start working and I'm like, oh man, well, the Snapchat, I'm not going to do that today because I'm too busy painting.
Right.
You know? And guys, this is not the way to do things. This is wrong. My partner right here, a partner in crime, is always trying to shine light on that. for me, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're like, dude, keep them all going. And I'm like, no, I'm like a horse like this. No,
like,
I get extremely focused.
Tunnel vision,
but it's not the right thing. Because one thing is to be tunnel vision or focused.
Tunnel vision is
that's not focused.
Tunnel
solely
vision
on one
is
thing.
solely like only seeing the one thing.
Yes.
And I think you get tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision, not focus. I get tunnel vision. I'm like, oh man, this is, you know what? I need to do this commissions. Screw everything else right now. It's all about the commissions.
Right.
This hurts my business, guys. This hurts my business. It hurts my relationship. Well, the working environment is what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. The working environment becomes,
you will never stop loving me. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the working environment gets stressful because I'm like, we have so many other things to do.
We have so much things happening at the same time. And people I've talked to, other artists, they seem to think that it's bananas, that you're crazy. I'm crazy. But that's not the way to do it. That what you do is that you pick something that's working and only focus on that and drop everything else.
Well, I've noticed that we all do that. And we do it in different ways.
Yeah, it's a human, behavior.
I think it's hard for us to conceive. It's like cooking a cake. Each ingredient matters. And I think that we forget that because we want to think that it's just the sugar that makes the cake good. But the flour that helps it rise makes it
she explains it so well.
You know what I mean? And so I think that when
is cooked and all
I think that when we're that when we are, it's hard for us to mentally conceive that we need all these ingredients to create success.
Totally.
Regardless of in what way you see that success, and regardless of what job you're doing, to be successful at what you're doing, you're juggling multiple things at multiple times. And those multiple things are all necessary for the outcome to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think sometimes we're like, it's the sugar. Like, how many times have we been cooking and we're like, it's this ingredient that makes it amazing. And then you put too much of that ingredient and then all of a sudden it's not good anymore.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't the ingredient. It was the entirety of the recipe.
It was the attention you put into it.
It was the recipe that made it good. It was not just the sugar.
Right. Not just the flour, not just the sugar.
Right.
It was the entire recipe.
Right.
And our young Instagram friend here is asking, I'm 15 and painting a fair lot. How can I improve my art and continue learning?
Keep painting.
Yeah.
Paint a lot every
painting.
day and try to paint different shapes and subjects and use different mediums so that you can
challenge yourself. Mm-hmm. You got to challenge yourself. If you're not challenging yourself, you're not growing.
Yeah.
So keep doing what you're doing, but add challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't know how to paint a horse, then practice painting a horse. If you don't know how to paint, if you're just focusing on landscapes and you're not learning other shapes, other things, this does not mean that you're going to be a jack of all trades. What this means is that you're going to be well-rounded.
Exactly.
So that when you just want to do portraits, okay, you understand color, you understand tone, you're not a one-horse pony.
And so you don't limit yourself. Because I think a lot of times you get comfortable only using one medium or only painting certain subjects.
One horse pony. I'm sorry, one trick pony.
Yeah. And then you psych yourself out and tell yourself you couldn't do it. Yeah. And really you could.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, keep challenging yourself so that you don't limit your capabilities.
Yeah, give us some hearts, guys. Come on, I live with hearts. Pum, 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 pum. Let us know that you're here. Let us know that you're enjoying the dealio. If you guys like what you're hearing, give us hearts. If you don't give us hearts. I'm dead set honest. I'm dead set honest. Okay, guys. So, also, don't forget to ask questions because you guys, that's why we do it here. That's why I don't just pre-record this with my wife and then just upload it on YouTube. The reason why we do it like this is because
the interaction with
we want the interaction. We want to be able to answer your questions and go back and forth. Because as we are sharing this, we're also learning from you guys. It's not just a one-sided thing. And if you're later watching this on YouTube, please put your questions below. I get back to them. I swear I do.
Yeah, art courses are... Kylie was asking, what about classes? I think the fundamentals are important. Like, you want to learn about color theory and all those important elements to
Yeah, you
art.
wanna first learn all of that stuff. It's
So I
not.
would definitely take art classes.
Yeah, it's not like it won't make you or break you if you don't. But you'll take most likely a harder route if you don't.
Right.
So I would recommend taking art courses, art theory, color theory, all of that stuff. They'll cover all of that with you when you go get some art courses. Also, let's get back to that. Let's reel
Back to the subject.
back to the subject. Let's reel it in.
Of learning that you need to
Hi,
be
Dee.
able to do multiple
See, it's like driving a car, and this is one of the things that
in order to be successful.
Yeah.
Like you need to keep track of all of the ingredients to your success.
This has been one of the most, if it's been the most important lesson for me, don't you think?
Yes.
In my career?
Yes.
I believe this has been the most important, the most difficult thing to grasp for me. Because I tend to focus very much. But in doing that, what happens is that I don't overfocus. There's no such thing as overfocusing. I micro focus and then just get tunnel vision and lose sight of the whole
Picture.
the whole picture. And this happens to me. This has happened to me often, guys. The reason I'm sharing and I'm being an open book here with you is if you're doing that, you may be blessed and not do that. But if you're doing that, you gotta recognize that you're doing that, because this has drained me of a lot of energy. This type of deal. And it took my partner to help me over the years. I didn't just get it right away. Like, I used to understand it. It's like when you have a bad habit, you know that you shouldn't do that bad habit, but it takes awareness, not knowledge, right?
Yeah.
What is Shanaz asking?
Shanaz says that she tried to implement the Jose paint a boat painting, and she said that it didn't work out. Jose used to think that he couldn't paint figures, like figures in the background or whatever. And at first they were like, whoa, like little sticks in the sky or whatever.
Because I was used to painting large.
Yeah, but as he kept doing it, there's some of my favorite paintings now when I see figures walking along a path or something.
Yeah, especially at the speed that I paint. I had no problem painting them if it were in a
Paint
larger
some more
format.
boats, Shanaz. Just keep painting them. The first ones are going to come out a little wonky.
Maybe don't start painting. Maybe you shouldn't start painting. Maybe what you should do, Shanaz, is start sketching. This is another thing, so that you can understand format and you can understand composition and drawing skills. Maybe you have to develop your drawing skills before. That way it makes more sense when you translate it to painting. So, totally. All right, so this is the thing that has, what would you call it? It's like a ball. It's a real ball and chain, huh? That I have to like break.
Yeah, I think it's just a bad habit.
Yeah.
It's
but
literally
it drops
a bad
everything. It drops everything.
Right.
That's the problem. That it's not a bad habit. That's like, well, slow me down. No, it drops everything.
Right.
As I'm going and I'm like, oh, okay, I got to do A, B, and C, and then I'm like, but A is more important, and B and C get dropped.
Right.
Even if you drop them for 1 day or 2 days, all of a sudden, the whole thing is not working anymore, because it's gears.
Right.
It's gears. The reason why it's where it's at, it's because all the gears are working together.
And I think that what a lot of business people forget is that all business people, I think where that becomes a hard thing to manage is that there's the big picture.
Yeah.
So there are things that you have to do for big picture. Like, for example, big picture is social media. It's
presence,
it's creating presence, it's expanding outside of our e-commerce and trying to get into maybe some galleries or getting more commissions or whatever. And then there's immediate. So there's the business at hand, the things that we're already doing, like our business that already exists, and the things that, and all the things that go into the day-to-day.
Right.
Plus big picture.
Right.
And where I've noticed that's been hard for you is keeping big picture and day to day.
Yes.
In tow. Where
integrated.
Where we're building the habits
Right.
that allow each one to flourish.
Right. Because if it's good enough to do one time.
Because then you'll focus big picture sometimes and then not day to day.
Right.
Or you'll focus day to day, not big picture.
If it's good enough to do one time,
yeah,
you have to do it daily. This is one of the things, the hardest things to understand is that you have to do it daily. So maybe you won't put 2 hours in one thing. Maybe it's just 15 minutes, but with full force, you know?
Dee, we were talking about, the topic today is just recognizing that as an artist or as an artist or somebody that has a goal of success, that you have to keep track of the things that are working, but keep all the ingredients that will lead to your success. Not just becoming singular where you're only focusing maybe on the artwork, but you're not focusing on meeting respective clients or creating other channels of selling your artwork. So, because it takes multiple things to create success.
And it's Thursday Cafesito, so the wife and I get to talk with our little coffees. It's an art talk with Cafesito.
Yeah. Next time, bring your coffees too, guys. We'll do virtual cheers.
Yeah. You didn't have your coffee.
Oh,
Come on.
sorry.
Keep
Cheers.
it real. This is not a coffee, guys.
I had a lot of things.
I won't
had
shame
a lot of
you
coffee.
on the coffee.
I had so much coffee today. And I don't know if this topic is helpful for you guys. A lot of times we find that we end up talking about the things that we are experiencing specifically. And so this has been something that we've always kind of talked about, is how to keep it all together.
Yeah.
Whether it's writing notes and to yourself saying, okay, this is working, keeping historical of what's working for you and what's not working for you. And so that you can keep adding to your recipe of success.
And here's the thing, it's not so much that it's forgetful, because this is the complaining. You have to also pay attention to your mind chatter, because it might just be complaining, you know, itching. There'll be a lot of complaining in there, and I didn't know this, but every time that we're like, oh man, I don't have time. First of all, if we say we don't have time, this is one of the things that I've learned. If we as artists or anyone, we say we don't have enough time, it's not true. What we're saying is, I want to be a perfectionist and I want things to run a certain way, and it's like we sometimes like to just steal time. Because we procrastinate and we want to push stuff out of the way, and
or
so we
wait
use
till
the
all
excuse.
The conditions are right.
That's the worst one.
That's
the worst
one.
You nailed
about
it.
This.
Boom.
We talked about this the other day. Waiting when the conditions are right, that's when we do it.
Yes.
And so it can't be consistent because you're waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
And the reality is that if you want to achieve some sort of success professionally as an artist or as a, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. You have to create the condition.
You make everything an event. One of the worst things.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm interrupting here. One of the worst things that we do is that we make everything an event. We're like, oh, I'm gonna go paint. Oh, I gotta put the right music on. I gotta make sure that the light is perfect. I gotta go get my coffee. That's an event. That's not work.
Well, I think that's what people are saying when they say, how do you get inspired?
Yeah, no, that's an event. It's not work.
And many times we have to say, I have to make inspiration happen. Like, I have to force myself to go and paint.
Yeah.
You know, because we don't wake up every day wanting to work. Regardless of whether it's your passion, at some point passion feels like work. Right.
It has to. It has to. Otherwise you don't grow. You're only going to be in a comfortable space.
Yeah.
Where you paint butterflies and maybe you only use certain colors and maybe, you know, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that subject matter. What I'm saying is that you'll stay in one comfort zone.
Right.
And then you won't be able to grow and to touch other people. And maybe the
day will come when you're like, oh, I really can't paint another butterfly. And then you'll be like, oh, I'm not inspired today. I won't paint. But the reality is that you need to. You have to keep going. You have to push through because inspiration is the opportunities that you make it out to be. And so
this says she started a class in her studio.
Oh, okay.
Can you read that one? Because I can't.
It says, want you to know that I've wanted to start a painting class in my studio, and I did it.
Yay!
Got the confidence and motivation from listening to you two. Awesome! That's so amazing, Dee. That's awesome.
Congratulations.
You're going to have to record a painting class for us and share it on Instagram. We'll watch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to see.
I love that. Progress makes everything better.
You know, I read this amazing quote, and I actually shared it on my Instagram yesterday, and I'm going to read it to you guys, because I think that this is what we're talking about, like finding inspiration, creating the perfect, you know, instead of waiting for the conditions to be correct, to wake up every morning and say, I am going to put myself in the right space, or even work through a bad headspace to get done what I need to get done today. But it said, confidence is not something you pay to get, is not something you can pay to get one time and you're good. Confidence is like makeup. You have to put it on every day to be useful. And that's by Gabrielle Sibide, or Sid, I can't say her last name. But I think that what she was really saying is that in order to be confident at something, to be good at something, you have to do it every day. And it's like success is your habits. You have to create habits, and not every day will you will not every day wake up and be on point.
Yeah, no way.
But the goal is to at least get to like 90%.
Yeah. Whatever
or
percentage.
Or at least try.
Because you keep growing. See, whatever percentage. Let's say that you are at your, I don't know, 20% of your whatever you wanted to do, right?
Right.
You didn't get there.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Instead of beating yourself up and being like, oh man, woe is me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, tomorrow you'll be at 25. The next day at 30. And on and on and on. In a week, you'll be at 100. And then you'll have the strength, right? It's like everything else. You have to keep all of it going.
Right. Absolutely.
Everything has to be integrated, all of it.
I think when we were talking about this today.
And then keep adding on more.
Yeah, when we were talking about this today, you used the example of the ease of driving. When you first learned to drive, you were constantly checking your mirrors. You were constantly tapping the brake.
Yeah. Because you don't know, so you're stressed.
Yeah, you were like trying to figure out how you do it all seamlessly. And then one day you've had so much experience driving that it feels like you're not doing a multitude of things, but you are. You're driving, you're paying attention to the traffic, you're checking your mirrors, you're able to listen to music or have a conversation, all while still maneuvering your car.
It's not in the surface anymore. Now you're on, what do you call that intelligence? Your subconscious is doing the driving now.
Right. And I think you said something really great. And you can look at that as your goal, right? Like, destination is success, and look, you're driving seamlessly there, doing multiple things to get there.
It's a multitask, but not a multitask of many things, many things, attention on many things at the same time. It's not necessarily that. It's many things, attention dropped in different points and times.
Right.
Did I make any sense there?
Yeah. Well, just making sure you're keeping track of all the ingredients.
Yeah, you have all the ingredients, and like when you're pouring flour, doesn't mean that you're pouring flour and then you're pouring something else. No, you're pouring flour on it. Right now, you're pouring flour. But make sure that after you pour flour in the same recipe, in the same, then you put the next ingredient and then the next thing, and that all happens the same day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not like I'm gonna do this video here and not paint. I have to paint. It's part of my daily thing, and I can't just paint, put this video here, and not get back to emails or do some Facebook advertisement or do some other stuff, whatever it is.
So we work long days, Shanaz. She's asking if you have a timetable. He does, and he sets a timer for each task.
Yeah.
And so I hear the timer go off, and then he has to move on to the next thing. So yeah, we do work long hours. We get up very early.
4 or 5 in the morning, and
it's a long day.
It's buckets, but it's so rewarding because you're living at your optimum. You're always living in your. See, this is one of the things that I was talking to you about this morning. You only think it's hard because you're comparing to your present situation.
Yes,
but your potential is so much higher. No one here looking at this right now, I don't believe it, is tapped out.
Yes.
Is doing more than what they can do.
Yes.
We can all do more.
We can all excel.
But we can all excel, but we are comparing ourselves to our situation, not our potential. Mm-hmm. And if we compare ourselves to our present situation, every inch that you grow is going to feel like you're getting your arm ripped apart. Mm-hmm. Every inch is going to feel like a mile. That's why it feels so painful. That's why it's like, oh my God, I can't use Facebook and paint and do Instagram videos and put them on YouTube. It's crazy. It's so much. No, it's not. It's just that you're comparing it to not doing it.
Shanaz, at first you won't stick to it. You're gonna find excuses to keep working on the one
It's a
task
muscle
that you're doing, but as you keep forcing yourself to remember to use it, you'll start to get in the groove. And D, I get it. You don't want to be defined by maybe being teaching an art class or because we have visions and expectations. But the thing is that everyone started somewhere. And if the art classes are working, and then you have a goal of also being like a successful artist, like why not use the revenue of teaching these art classes to help you get there? Right. Like there should be no shame in our game on how we provide for ourselves.
There's so much shame in our game.
And if you can use your gifts, which is teaching to paint, to generate revenue for you, and then get to paint the things that you love, I think you should go for it. Maybe. And Shanaz, just stick to it. Like put the timer on. It's so annoying. It goes off like. You have it set to, not every task takes the same amount of time, but it's a loud alarm, but not each task is the same. You don't give each thing the same amount of time. Some stuff takes longer than others.
I have a buddy who runs Ironmans, who does the whole like marathons and whatnot. Huh?
Yeah.
He's like,
well, and that's, for example, I think, I don't mean to cut you off, but you and I are great at working.
Woman interrupting.
I know. We're great at working. We can pull long hours. I think for us, like we've been talking a lot about our fitness into getting fit.
Right.
And we'll sometimes use work as an excuse not to. We bought exercise equipment, and we'll sometimes use work as an excuse not to go work out.
Because we don't have that muscle yet.
And so we see it in different ways in our lives. And so I think that if you force yourself to stick to a timetable, to say, I am done at this time, because it teaches you to... and
we don't get the muscle because we don't do it.
Exactly. It teaches you to
stick to it.
Yeah.
It gives you persistence.
It gives you a brain fart. I can't think of it. Anyways, it'll come to me and we'll be off the video by the time I think of it. But
they'll be like, oh, here's another video. Remember that thing I didn't remember?
Yeah.
Here it goes, guys.
It's just a word.
Look at those lashes. Lashes. Close your eyes. Show them your lashes. Ooh la la.
You're so silly. Okay. But yeah.
So
your friend who runs an Ironman.
Yeah.
Alejandro.
He tells me, dude, one time we were like talking and we're over a beer. And I was like, man, it's incredible what you do, it's crazy, like so many miles. Like he'll be like, today I woke up and I went and I ran, 5 miles.
5 miles.
And I was like, what?
Oh.
I feel like that's what people feel when I tell them, I made 3 commissions and, and blah, 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 and 2 paintings.
I just painted for 7 hours.
Yeah. They're like, what? When he tells me that, I'm like, and then he looks at me with a straight, cool friend face. And he's like, dude, you can do that too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't even perceive how I can do that.
Yeah.
I can't even like 5 miles. Like I think about 1 mile and I'm like, man, I think I can't even, I can, but I choose not to walk 1 mile.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, like running 5 miles, 10 miles in the morning. Like he'll do these things and it's the same.
Always working out. I'm so sorry.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It goes back to the same thing. When we are talking about this stuff, it's all integrated. How is it that someone in, I don't know how many hours that takes, a person to run, even if you're doing like 2-3 miles and it takes you, I don't know, half an hour, 1 hour, whatever it does, right? Whatever your time frame is.
Yeah.
Most people that don't do that will dread all day to maybe walk a quarter mile or run a quarter mile.
Or we just create excuses.
Yeah. Dread it. Like just push it and be like, no,
excuses,
no.
I'll be like, oh no, I gotta keep working because I have a few more orders.
I'm too busy.
To get out. And
how's our time?
And so then we won't jump on the treadmill. We are good on time. We have 5 more minutes.
Awesome. So guys, please ask your questions if you have any awesome questions. Yeah, but that's really, for me, learning that it's multiple things happening at the same time, and you want to use pockets of time to get them done. Because otherwise, you're gonna start using and keep using excuses and say, I don't have time. I have to pick up my. You don't understand. I have 3 kids. You don't understand. I have 2 jobs. You don't understand. You have to make it. You have to push it in there, like because what you're fighting is your present conditioning.
Yeah.
You're not fighting your potential. Your potential, you could. I don't know. You could be Elon Musk for all I know. You know, and nobody knows it yet.
Yeah.
But
or the next great
artist. You're the next Picasso. You don't know that, but you're fighting your Picasso's one of
fighting your paradigm.
You're fighting your paradigm. One of Picasso's quotes that I love so much. He says, "I'm always doing." He said, "I'm always doing impossible things. That's how I get them done."
Yeah.
So what he was saying is that he was always breaking his paradigm. That's one of the reasons why I think Picasso was one of the greatest, if not the greatest, artist of our century. It's because, or this past century. Still today. It's because he was a paradigm breaker.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much what he painted and how he painted. It was that he broke away from paradigms. He just,
And Shanaz too. Shanaz says we bounce off of each other. Great. We've also been bad at like enabling each other. Or...
Thanks, Dee.
Or also too, I think sometimes as a partner, you can see something and they might not be able to see it. Like sometimes he sees my flaws and he'll call me out on it.
I'll be like,
hey. No, I refuse to listen to you, or vice versa. And this goes into working together, is learning to trust that the other one is not trying to hurt you. Yeah. They're trying to help you excel and be better.
Yep.
And so a lot of times to avoid that conflict or that uncomfortability, we won't push the other one to try harder. And then in turn, maybe not push ourselves because we're like, oh, he's comfortable. I'll stay comfortable right here. And the reality is that everything that we do in life requires effort. Dating requires effort. Getting up in the morning and getting dressed requires effort. The most menial task requires some element of effort. And so we always have to remind ourselves to move forward every day, giving the most effort we can to everything that we do and bringing our best selves up in the process. I think that that's key, Oh, thank you. I'm glad you liked the last live video.
Yeah, it's important to confront the monster. To be like, you know what, dude? Like, I asked her, but she's very kind to me. Like, I'm not as kind. I'm like, dude, this is not working. We got to do this. But she's very kind to me. I think she thinks I'm an artist and I'm going to break or something.
No, it's just that I know you have to come to it yourself.
But maybe we have to break that, too.
Yeah. He doesn't listen to me. I will tell him, I'll tell him, and then he'll be like, no, that's not true. Yeah. And then, like, he'll struggle with it, and then he'll come and he'll be like, oh my gosh.
You're like, it's my way or the highway.
I had this awareness.
I'll be like those dishes in movies. When I'm like,
you'll be like, I had this awareness that I do this.
I realized something after she told me 1,000 times. I'll be like, I just realized something.
I realized
Who does that? Jack Black does that.
Yeah, you'll tell me I realized something about myself today, and then he'll tell me what I've been asking him, and then I'm like, yay! Subconsciously, it seeped in. He figured it out because I think you have to figure it out for yourself.
That could be true too. I think that's true. That's fair. But I also think
he's like, no, that's not true. And then later on, like 3 weeks later, he'll be like, I had this insight about myself.
It's true.
And it's like he's
repeating
my words verbatim.
No
And I'm like, thank goodness he figured it out.
I think you have to confront the monster though, because I think sometimes you don't want the heat of me fighting back and saying that's not true. And sometimes you have to take the heat.
No.
Sometimes you have to take the heat,
I know it's true.
The uncomfortable heat of being like, you know what, dude? You always tell me this.
But I also recognize,
and then you can play back this video and be like, see, you gave me permission.
You gave me permission. No, but I also think, too, that because we work from home and we work together, I'm always weary of environment. Like, keeping it positive. Because some days it's hard to stay in that.
No, but we've come to a place where I feel like a good 90% of our time here is positive, is in the right vibe. I think when we don't, we know already we're not kids anymore. We're like, dude, you know what? What's going on? Let's handle it so we can move forward.
Yeah, Dee, we'll always post these videos on YouTube so that you can watch them later. Definitely. I know it's hard to get to watch it at noon all the time.
No, yeah, totally, totally. I know you guys are
sometimes you guys live in other areas where it might be later or earlier, and it's tough to catch them. But thank you for giving us your time and watching us and listening to us rant about whatever's happening in our art space.
So just put me on the spot here. Totally appreciate it though. So yeah, guys, you have to confront the monster. I think it's important. You know, your partner is like, dude, you can't see this, right? And you don't confront it. Or here's another thing. Maybe it's comfortable. You know, maybe sometimes it's comfortable. It's like, you know what? It's like a couple, right? Sometimes there's an issue that maybe have to be worked. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe a challenge or an issue, but if it's not confronted, there won't be an argument. There won't be, you know, people won't lose their head. Like, you have to lose your head sometimes. It's okay. Mm-hmm. And then it's not keeping yourself together. It's getting up right away. That matters.
Yeah, it's not how you fall, but how you pick yourself back.
Yeah, it's not it's not, I never get upset. I think it's stupid. You have to get upset. Mm-hmm. It's okay to get upset. You know, I hear people say, oh, I'm always working so well with my partner or my friend or blah, blah. I'm like, some shit's wrong right there then. This is just my perspective.
Right.
Something's wrong right there. You know, someone has to lose their head every now and then. And then the person has to reach out and pick you up. Mm-hmm. Or the person that fell has to learn how to get up right away. Because that's what matters. Like, you have to pick yourself up right away. I know this is totally off topic.
No, but it makes sense because we were just talking about working together and how sometimes you don't want to ruffle feathers or you don't want to challenge the other person. You don't want to challenge them to try harder. But I think too, sometimes I'm just having an insight right now. Maybe sometimes I don't want to challenge you because in you raising your bar, I have to raise mine too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you start maximizing and achieving a certain type of success, I as your partner have to raise the bar to make sure that I'm meeting the same potential and requirements. Yeah. Because as you raise the bar, I have to meet you there. Right. Because we're working together as a team in our business. And so I think a lot of times we don't realize that we two are we're staying comfortable and not saying these things because maybe we're like, oh, if I make him do it, like if he starts getting on the treadmill every day, then oh my god, maybe that means I have to get on the treadmill every day,
which I am a little bit
doing good. And so I think that's truly the insight, the thing that we've been talking about, which I think now you just kind of tied it all together, is forcing yourself to put all the effort you can every day. And keep track of the ingredients that make you successful daily, and shed off the habits that hold you back, and shave off the habits that are baggage and unnecessary, and don't add to your success. Yeah. And open yourself up to learning and growing about yourself so that you can be your best self all the time.
Get rid of the stupid stuff. Get rid of the I'm going to sit here on Facebook and look at cat photos when you're supposed to be painting, or you're supposed to be maybe watching something like this and learning a little something. You know, reminding yourself of a little something.
Thank you, Dee. I try to be a good partner. He's a very good partner too. We're both very lucky.
Yeah. Pound it. Here's the thing though. I think you got to get your partner into your game. Even if they have another career, I think you have to come into the same flow.
Well, you have to be interested in each other.
Yeah.
I mean, in order to make a life happen, I have to be interested in what you're doing.
It can't be like, that's your career.
Like, this is me. I don't mean interested in like, I love art and I want to be an artist. I mean, I have to be interested in you and what makes you tick and what makes you happy.
And I do the same thing. I'm like, what is your thing? Because I know she's not an artist, of course. So, you know, I mean, she's an artist, but not in the, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm not a painter, like an art, like a.
Yeah. Right. So,
I'm creative.
Yeah, she's
That's
creative.
What you're trying to say.
So I have to be interested in what she wants out of life, out of our little business, out of our vision, out of our ideas, out of her ideas. What is her aim? Because her aim and my aim, we need to go to the same place.
Yeah.
We need to go to the same place. Even if this is one of the things that we have to learn, because when we had the boutique, I was like, well, the boutique's not mine.
Right.
You know? And I had to learn how to be like, you know what?
Involved.
Because I was involved, but I was involved in the like
marketing. You helped a lot with marketing.
But the emotional aspect of understanding, you know, this is what we need to go, this is what we need to do. I didn't understand how to be more of a partner. And it was a struggle.
Yeah.
It was a struggle. It was a challenge. Because I had a hard time sympathizing with her and understanding the day-to-day things. I did.
Yeah.
I did the day-to-day things.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain things that happen because I had my job, and then I had my second job, and then we had the boutique, and I had all these excuses, right? Because they're excuses. You can do it. No one is doing. I mean, come on, look at what Elon Musk is doing. You know, look at what any of those people were like. Oh yeah, but they have funding. Blah blah blah. Money ain't the thing. These people are busy. They're
putting all the energy they have and the effort that they're putting forward.
Yeah.
Which is what we keep talking about.
Energy is the holy outflow. This I learned from a mentor. Outflow is the holy grail. If you haven't checked out his books, go check them out. He doesn't give me anything for telling you guys that. Anyways, outflow, he says it's the holy grail. I've talked about it in many other videos. But here, come here then.
It's Bolt again.
Yeah.
He gets so excited to be around.
Come here,
us.
guy. What's up, you guys? My name's Bolt. I'm the cool guy around town.
Our kid loves him. Bolt is his fave. He likes to chew on shoes.
Yeah.
So we have to buy the stuff for the podcast.
Yeah,
we're
very
procrastinated
working.
It's an idea, and we want to do it, and then it's like, oh, we got to research, and really now we just got to do it. We went and had a meeting this morning together over breakfast.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, no, this week we're gonna get it going. And so I think a lot of times when you give yourself excuses to be like, well, we got to figure out how to do it, and like, tomorrow is the worst invented idea. Oh, I thought you meant tomorrow.
No.
I was like, we were just saying we were gonna wait until
that
tomorrow.
humans came up with. Hey, how's it going from Romania?
Hi.
Tomorrow is the worst word a human being can say.
Yeah. And so we just need to get going. Well, and the podcast sounds a little bit more exciting because then I don't have to stare at myself. Staring at myself feels weird.
What are you talking about? We're going to be doing the podcast and this at the same time.
So I still have to stare at myself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how these dudes do it. I seen them. They're doing their podcast and then they're streaming it. Some parts of it. They're streaming it on Instagram. Guys, be ready because this podcast is going to be juicy. I'm gonna throw everything out there. Everything I know.
It's exciting.
All of my creative juices are gonna go.
Well, guys, this is it for today. And thank you, Shanaz, for saying we're amazing. Yeah, we are working. We're working on ourselves.
We're regular
every day.
people.
We are on the same journey you guys are on. And
I'm sharing this challenges and mistakes.
Because they're reminders for us. We're working through them. Yeah, we're working through them every day.
As I'm talking to you guys about it, she's talking to you guys about it, we remind, yeah. This is the deal I need to work on. This is the deal I need to, I remind myself.
Before we end this, I had this insight a couple months ago, and I remember telling you that for a lot of us who grew up with moms who grew up in a different decade where women in the workforce or women going to college were not the norm. For example, my mother was taught you get married, you have children, and you support your husband to achieve his dreams, right? Mm-hmm. My mom was like, you're going to do all the things that I didn't get to do. So I went to college. I traveled the world. I found a partner who likes to work with me. And my world doesn't consist of just being a mom and a wife. My world consists of me, of those elements being a part of me, but not the definition of me. And I am allowed to create a professional element to myself too. And I remember telling Jose. That's his nickname. I remember telling Jose.
You can call me Chewy too.
I remember telling Jose, I don't want our son to ever be like for me to ever look at my child and be like, you're going to do the things that I didn't get to do. I want him to grow up and be like, my mom was so awesome. She set goals for herself and I watched her achieve all of them. And my dad is so amazing. He set goals for himself and I watched him achieve all of them. And that's a reminder that I too can achieve what I want.
Yeah.
And I think that if we remember those things, like
teach by showing,
like life unfulfilled, like how many of us have heard those stories of people who were like, I never got to do this, or these moments of that they didn't get to fulfill these dreams and ideas that they've set for themselves. Remind yourself every day that you are going to be the fulfillment of all the things you see of yourself. Yeah. You're going to fulfill them, and you're going to set goals and you're going to tackle them, and it's not going to be fun all the time and it's not going to be easy, but you're going to set those goals and you're going to reach for them. And so that's what I'm going to end with today. You got anything to add?
No, I think you nailed it.
Yeah.
But I want to end this show. No, you nailed it.
So, get out there, guys. Set goals. Crush them.
Do your thing.
Make it happen.
Not everybody's gonna do the same thing. We're all trying to learn. We're all doing different things and whatnot.
Yeah.
Not everybody. Maybe you're a jewelry maker. Maybe your thing is painting, and you still haven't figured out how to monetize or how to learn or whatever. Maybe you start by doing a podcast. Maybe you start blogging. Maybe you start writing articles. Maybe you start use what you already know.
Yeah. And bring it to the table.
Boom! What you already know. Maybe
you already have the tools that you need for where you are right now.
You have something.
And use them. You have gifts already.
Maybe you're like, I need to learn how to paint, but you're like a great writer. Dude, start there. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Start with what you already... We all have these gifts. We all have these things. Don't wait. I've always been a chatter. And I was like, man, I need to learn how to blah, blah, blah.
My ear off. When he started making these videos, I was like, oh my gosh, he has someone else talk to.
Yeah.
I love you. But yeah, he would talk my ear off. And I'm so glad he gets to share them. I used to tell him, you should share these ideas with people, and he would. And
yeah, I have no problem. I have no problem public speaking and whatnot. I've always liked talking in crowds. I love
You're welcome,
all kinds of places where there's a crowd. I'll be like, I'm there. Since I was a kid, I've always been okay talking in crowds and talking to people. No problem with that, sharing my experiences and whatnot. But that's one of my fortes. It's one of my strengths, And I knew how to do that before I was comfortable. I'm not a professional speaker. I never learned, But it's I use my character, my persona, my je ne sais quoi, I've always used it to charm the lady, tell her, hey, come here.
Or to perform. I mean,
I was a performer. I was a musician.
He was a musician.
So I knew how to be okay in front of the mic and talk to crowds, hundreds of people. Sometimes we even perform, in front of thousands of people. And I was okay talking to crowds.
You're welcome, honey art.
And this is something that helped me with my artwork, because I knew how to do that before I actually learned how to professionally paint, become a professional artist. And it never occurred to me to use that.
Yeah.
I always knew that, I'm going to end up talking somewhere, maybe podcast, well, not podcasts, because we didn't know anything about podcasts, but videos or, DVDs, whatever it was. I was like, I'm going to end up talking to people somehow. And it never occurred to me, dude, start a YouTube channel. Talk to people,
Yeah.
It's the thing that I already know how to do.
Well, and I think we have a vision for what we're supposed to do. For example, I always thought that I was going to be a boutique owner. And when that closed, I thought, who am I? I went to college for this. I put all of my eggs in this basket, and now it's gone. It happened, but now it's gone. What does that mean for me? And now with our e-commerce, I get to bring all of my passion and the things that I enjoy doing. I love, this is really weird, but I love providing customer service to people. I love engaging with clients. I love all those elements of the sales process. I love helping you pick frames and all that good stuff. And so it was like a meeting of both of our passions, being on having an e-commerce. I get to bring my retail stuff that I love and enjoy, and you get to paint and create paintings that we sell to the world. And so I think sometimes we have ideas of what things need to look like, and then it doesn't look that way, and we think we're not aligned with our passion.
Who am I?
So just always always be grateful.
Use your
Don't
strengths.
use your strengths. Go out there and know that life is short, and don't be unfulfilled. Go fulfill all your goals and dreams.
Bam. There you go. Guys, we're well past our time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining. Tag a friend. Tag multiple friends. I don't know. Let them know what we're doing here. Because I think we're doing something special. Shit, I wish someone was talking about this when I was, starting out.
It's fun. I love getting to talk to you guys. Thank you for showing up every Thursday.
Tag people. Let them know what I'm doing.
And
what she's
talking
doing,
to
what
us
we're
and
doing.
encouraging us to keep going.
All right, guys.
Thank you guys.
Take
Have a
care.
good day. Have a great rest of your week.
Hey, I want you guys to know what's up. Like both. Is my hair cool? Or should I let it grow?
It's a little wild today.
Should I let it grow? Like who?
Shanaz, have a great day. You guys all keep painting, keep teaching those classes.
It's a shame.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Bye-bye, amigos.
Bye.